Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the arrival of the official party. Please remain standing for the playing of O Canada. Thank you. Please be seated. Good day to the Honorable David McGuinty, Minister of National Defense, Mr. and Mrs. Zurakowski, representatives from ADMIE, ADM-MAT, AT members and alumni, distinguished guests and friends. I would like to start by acknowledging that we are gathered here on the traditional, unceded territory of the Anishinaabe Algonquin peoples. Indigenous peoples have taken care of these lands and water since time immemorial. We are grateful for their stewardship and are committed to a respectful partnership. Thank you for joining us today as we dedicate this hangar in honor of Janusz Zurakowski, a legendary test pilot whose name is synonymous with courage, innovation, and mastery in the air. It is now the newest home to a proud legacy of Canadian aviation excellence. The space is more than just steel and concrete. It is the continuation of a story that began over a century ago with Canada's earliest flight test pioneers. Born in 1914 and raised in Poland, Janusz Zurakowski entered military service as a fighter pilot before the Second World War. Following the invasion of Poland, he escaped to the United Kingdom and continued the fight as a member of the Royal Air Force. Flying Spitfires during the Battle of Britain, he distinguished himself through courage, professionalism, and skill in combat. He earned multiple decorations for gallantry and service, such as the Polish Cross Virtuti Militari and the Polish Cross of Valor with 2 clasps. Après la guerre, il est passé des opérations de combat aux essais en vol. Formé comme pilote d'essai en Grande-Bretagne, Zurakowski a contribué au développement des premiers chasseurs à réaction avant d'émigrer au Canada en 1952 et pour se joindre à Avro Aircraft à titre de pilote d'essai développemental en chef. In Canada, his legacy truly took flight. He broke the sound barrier in the CF-100 Canuck, making it the first Canadian-designed aircraft to do so. And most famously, he made the first flight of the CF-105 Aero on March 25, 1958, pushing the boundaries of speed, altitude, and engineering. Under his hand, the Aero rapidly demonstrated world-class performance, exceeding Mach 1.5 on its seventh flight, a testament to both the aircraft design and the pilot flying it. Suite à l'annulation du programme Aero, Zurakowski s'est éloigné du monde de l'aviation, mais non pas de son héritage. Il fut décoré du trophée McKee, a été intronisé au temple de la renommée de l'aviation canadienne et demeure une figure emblématique de l'innovation, du courage et de la maîtrise technique aérospatiale du Canada. The origins of our flight test community trace back to the 1920s at Rockcliffe, where the Air Board and later the RCAF conducted foundational aeronautical experimentation, mapping flights, and equipment testing. Those early efforts laid the groundwork for the professional test and evaluation capability that we know today. Through the Second World War and the decades that followed, Canada expanded its test organizations and eventually consolidated them in 1951 into the Central Experimental and Proving Establishment, the CP. This marked a major evolution in our national aerospace capability, and on May 4th, 1967, the CP was renamed to the Aerospace Engineering Test Establishment, or AT. By 71, AT had absorbed 448 Squadron and 129 Test and Ferry Flight, and formed the AT that we know today, a name that had represented flight test excellence for over half a century. AT has tested nearly every significant aircraft and system flown by the Canadian Armed Forces, from the CT-33 Silver Star and the CF-104 Starfighter to the CH-148 Cyclone, and more recently the UAS P-8 Hornet Extension Program and future aircrew training on the horizon. AT's mission has remained consistent: to provide world-class aerospace flight test services that ensure safety and performance, thereby enabling the operational readiness of Canada's military air fleet. Aujourd'hui, alors que le Centre d'essai technique aérospatial, le CETA, poursuit ses travaux à Ottawa en partenariat avec des organisations telles que le Conseil national de recherche du Canada, la Recherche et développement pour la défense du Canada, la Garde côtière, les forces d'opération spéciales, le Transport Canada, l'Armée canadienne, l'Aviation royale canadienne et l'Armée canadienne, ce hangar se dresse comme le symbole de cet engagement continu. Il soutient une équipe de personnel navigant d'essai, d'ingénieurs, de techniciens de maintenance, de logisticiens et de spécialistes techniques qui repoussent les limites des aéronefs, de chaque aéronef et chaque système jusqu'à leurs limites, afin que de leur livraison, ceux-ci soient sécuritaires, efficaces et prêts à accomplir leur mission. Le CETA gère actuellement environ 40 projets d'essais complexes, illustrant son rôle essentiel à l'avant-garde de l'innovation aérospatiale canadienne. This hangar is therefore not just a facility. It is a platform for innovation, a workshop for ideas, and perhaps most importantly, a safeguard for those who rely on the capabilities we evaluate here. It will serve for generations of aviators, engineers, technicians, and logisticians who follow in the footsteps of those early pioneers from Rockcliffe. So today we honor not only this building, but also the people, past, present, and future, who make AT's mission possible. Thank you for being here to mark this milestone as we continue Canada's proud tradition of flight test excellence. As we officially dedicate the Janusz Zurakowski building, we honor both a towering figure in Canada's aviation history and the generations that will carry forward his spirit, expertise, and credibility. Experto crede. Thank you. It is now my honor to invite the Minister of National Defense, the Honorable David McGuinty, to deliver his remarks.
Thank you very much, Captain Orsini, Colonel Cy Lamoureux, friends from across the defense and aerospace community. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Bonjour. This is a big day. This is a beautiful complex. Before I continue, I want to acknowledge the First of all, the presence with me here today of MP Giovanna Mangarelli, who's our MP from basically all of Eastern Ontario. So if you have any questions about Eastern Ontario, she's absolutely the person to talk to, and she's working with us, of course, right across her region as we continue to make important investments in defense and we build our defense industrial strategy. So, Giovanna, thank you for being here. Thank you for your service. I also want to acknowledge the tragic incident that occurred at LaGuardia Airport on March 22nd, involving Air Canada Flight 8646. Our thoughts are, of course, with all those affected by the tragedy, including the families and the loved ones of those lost, the injured, and the first responders who acted with courage in its immediate aftermath. Deux pilotes, Antoine Forêt et Mackenzie Gunther, ont tragiquement perdu la vie, et plusieurs autres personnes parmi les passagers, les membres de l'équipage et les pompiers d'aéroport ont été blessés. Nos pensées, comme celles de tous les Canadiens et Canadiennes, accompagnent aujourd'hui les familles, les amis et l'ensemble des personnes touchées par cette tragédie, dont les premiers intervenants. Aujourd'hui, je souhaite aussi exprimer ma gratitude aux membres des Forces armées canadiennes qui servent ici au pays et en déploiement à l'étranger, pour le travail qu'ils font au quotidien afin de défendre nos valeurs et d'assurer notre sécurité partout dans le monde. It's a pleasure to be here at Canadian Forces Support Group Ottawa-Gatineau, in my riding of Ottawa South, the finest riding in the country, as we mark three important milestones for Canada's defense and aerospace community. The reopening of Hangar 14, the relocation to Ottawa of AT, the Aerospace Engineering Test Establishment, and the rededication of AT's newly renovated home here in Hangar 14, as we've just heard, in honor of a great Canadian, Janusz Zurakowski. If you're learning about Zura for the first time today, he left a remarkable legacy, an aviation pioneer from Poland, whose contributions helped shape Canada's aerospace industry as a whole. A test pilot of extraordinary skill and courage, during his career, Zura pushed the boundaries of what was possible in Canadian aviation, not to mention his innumerable contributions to the Allied war effort during the Second World War. So it's only fitting that this facility would bear his name. And his son, George Zurakowski, and his wife are with us here today. Thank you both for being here to be able to properly honor the extraordinary service of your father, George. Thank you so much for joining us. Bien que nous soulignions ces exploits de l'histoire aérospatiale du Canada, nous nous tournons aussi en ce moment vers l'avenir des essais aérospatiaux canadiens. C'est ici que la prochaine génération de capacités aérospatiales seront mises à l'essai et perfectionnées, en regroupant et en relocalisant les activités du Centre d'essais techniques d'aérospatiale. À Ottawa, nous rapprochons une capacité essentielle de partenaires clés, c'est-à-dire dont Transport Canada et le Conseil national de recherche. Cette proximité va renforcer la collaboration, accélérer l'innovation et simplifier la manière dont ce travail est accompli. In consolidating AT, here in Ottawa, we're bringing Canadian aerospace testing full circle, back to the National Capital Region where it all began more than a century ago at the Rockcliffe Aerodrome in 1920. At the center of this transformation is this very building, Hangar 14, built in 1955 and recognized as a federal heritage building. It reflects Canada's contributions to aviation and military preparedness in the post-war era. Today it stands restored, renewed, and ready for a new generation to push the limits. And believe me, we will be pushing the limits. Through this $93.6 million investment by the Government of Canada, the Defence team has transformed this facility into a state-of-the-art aircraft and avionics testing space while preserving the features that define its very history. In its renovated layout, Hangar 14 offers modern labs and testing areas for AT personnel to carry out their important work. The hangar also meets rigorous standards for energy efficiency and sustainability, something that I will continue to drive through the department and the CAF so we can continue to achieve, as this building has, 3 Green Globes certification. We anticipate this will reduce greenhouse gas emissions at this facility by nearly 60%. This project also delivered some tangible economic benefits here at home, with 150 jobs for skilled workers and local industry across the National Capital Region. I'd like to thank AECOM of Whitby, Ontario for leading the design starting in 2019, ainsi que le personnel de Pomerleau Incorporé de Saint-Georges au Québec et ses bureaux ici à Ottawa qui a procédé aux travaux de rénovation de 2021 à janvier dernier. Voilà concrètement ce que signifie investir dans la défense. Renforcer nos capacités tout en soutenant les entreprises canadiennes. Ce travail s'inscrit dans une vaste initiative. Dans le cadre de la stratégie industrielle de défense du Canada, nous investissons dans les capacités, les partenariats et l'innovation nécessaires pour relever les défis d'aujourd'hui et nous préparer aux menaces de demain. Nous respectons notre engagement à l'OTAN de consacrer 2% aux dépenses en matière de défense, tout en visant 5% d'ici 2035, car investir dans la défense signifie aussi investir dans la sécurité, la surveillance de nos approches et la solidarité avec nos alliés. Des projets comme celui-ci témoignent de cet engagement. Bien sûr, mener un projet d'une telle ampleur ne s'est pas fait sans défi. La pandémie a ralenti les progrès. Le derecho en mai 2022 a considérablement endommagé le toit et les portes du hangar. Mais malgré tout, l'équipe s'est adaptée, a persévéré et a atteint son but. Et aujourd'hui, nous accueillons officiellement le centre d'essai dans ces nouveaux locaux. As we reopen Hangar 14 with new purpose and renewed resolve, we brought Canadian aerospace testing, as I mentioned, full circle. We've come a long, long way since those airborne days at the Rockcliffe Aerodrome, and a long way since Zura flew the Avro Aero and the Avro Canuck. I will conclude by saying that in Hangar 14, we have a facility that respectfully honors the past while preparing us for an extremely dynamic future. Today's announcement is also about strengthening Canada's aerospace testing capability. It's about ensuring Canada remains a world leader in aviation engineering. And ultimately, it's about supporting members of the Canadian Armed Forces. It's about supporting members of the Canadian Armed Forces, making sure they have the advanced capabilities they need to defend this beautiful country and defend our people. Thank you to everyone who has made this project possible. Thank you to the Ottawa International Airport Authority. Thank you to all the public servants, the contracting officers, the suppliers, the tradespeople. Thank you to everyone. You should all be very proud of this important facility, not only for today, but for the decades to come. Merci beaucoup. Thank you so much. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Minister McGuinty. And I would like now to invite the Associate Assistant Deputy Minister, Mrs. Judith Bennett, to deliver her remarks.
There we go. Good morning, everyone. Bonjour à toutes et à tous. I would like to take this moment to thank the Minister for being here to support this important moment for the Materiel Group and the Canadian Armed Forces. I would also like to acknowledge the family of Janusz Zurakowski, whose name will be continued to be associated with the storied legacy of the Aerospace Engineering Test Establishment at their new home here in Ottawa. It is truly a pleasure to be here with you this morning inside Hangar 14, the Janusz Zurakowski building, a place that already feels alive with possibility. Walking through the doors earlier, seeing the aircraft, the labs, and the teams, you can feel the energy. Il y a de l'énergie positive dans l'air ce matin. On behalf of the Material Group, I wish to share our combined excitement for the Aerospace Engineering Test Establishment team as you begin a new chapter here in Ottawa at this pivotal time. We at the Material Group collectively play a significant role in ensuring the Canadian Armed Forces has the right tools for the jobs it's called to face. Our task is not an easy one, but the members of the Armed Forces and Canadians expect us to rise to that challenge. To do this, we need passionate people with deep, diverse expertise, sound judgment, and an understanding of the challenges faced by our personnel and operations in Canada and around the globe. 80 members, you are these people, the experts that help us make the right decisions when it really matters. Comme vous le savez, le centre d'essai est reconnu partout au Canada et parmi nos alliés pour les qualités exceptionnelles de votre travail. You have learned that reputation through dedication, technical excellence, and an unwavering commitment to your craft. Nous vivons aujourd'hui dans un environnement international marqué par l'instabilité et l'incertitude. Dans ce contexte, les forces armées canadiennes sont engagées dans une période importante d'investissement et de reconstruction. This generational period of investment is an incredible moment, a heavy responsibility, and a challenge we must meet with courage and creativity. Le défi actuel exige que nous soyons prêts. Bref, il exige qu'une force dotée de capacités modernes. Pour qu'on puisse la réaliser, il exige une capacité de valider et mettre dans les mains des militaires les outils dont ils ont besoin. As you all know, this is exactly where the Aerospace Engineering Test Establishment, with the full support of the rest of the Material Group and our partners, has an essential role to play. Vous réduisez les risques, vous renforcez la sécurité des vols et vous livrez des preuves techniques qui permettent des décisions rapides et informées afin de livrer les capacités pertinentes, exactement ce que l'époque exige. Tout cela grâce à votre rigueur, votre précision, votre engagement. Votre travail est important et plus important que jamais. En retournant au hangar où nous nous trouvons, c'est ici, dans un tel endroit, qu'on comprend vraiment le rôle essentiel du centre d'essai dans l'innovation aérospatiale du Canada. Ce hangar offre l'espace, les outils et l'infrastructure nécessaires pour une organisation moderne qui doit à la fois évoluer rapidement. Cela permet des décisions plus rapides, des partenariats plus riches et une approche plus agile des programmes de tests complexes. But this hangar is far more than a workspace. It embodies and recognizes that test and evaluation is a critical strategic capability, and it showcases who you are, a community of experts, a community of excellence, united by a shared purpose. So to the pilots, engineers, technicians, technologists, operations team, logisticians, did I miss anybody? Leadership of the Aerospace Engineering Test Establishment, along with anybody else who enables their work. Merci. Thank you. Your work is demanding. It is precise, and it is critically important. You operate in an environment where judgment must be exact, where safety is paramount, and where technical credibility underpins everything that you do. As the Canadian Armed Forces modernizes with new fleets and capabilities, the demand for trusted, rapid, and scalable air test and evaluation will only grow. Le Centre d'essai technique aérospatial se trouve maintenant très bien positionné pour relever ces défis. And you know this, the Material Group is committed to supporting you every step of the way. So here today in Hangar 14, as we open these doors officially, we celebrate two things. We celebrate a purpose-built facility that strengthens Canada's ability to deliver modern, capable, and trusted air power. Second, we celebrate the people of this establishment, whose expertise, professionalism, and dedication have shaped its history and will define its future. So, félicitations à toute l'équipe. Merci pour votre engagement, and please enjoy the rest of the celebration. A huge congratulations. Cheers.
Thank you, Ms. Bennett. I would like to now invite the CEO of AT, Colonel Saila Moreau, for her remarks.
Minister McGuinty, Ms. Bennett, Mr. Zurakowski, Colonel Wedgwood, members of the Ottawa International Airport Authority, AT members, alumni, distinguished guests and friends, good morning. Over the past decade, AT has undergone a remarkable transformation. What began as a vision through engineering flight test rationalization, EFTR, has now fully taken flight. We relocated from our long-standing home in Cold Lake, worked from temporary offices, and operated across multiple sites. Through that period, many of our personnel balanced complex commutes, shifting workplace setup, all while managing the complicated effort to foster unit cohesion and a culture of excellence in air test and evaluation. Today, we gather to mark an important milestone, the grand opening and rededication of this hangar as the Janusz Zurakowski building. In doing so, we stand on the shoulders of those who came before us, former AT commanding officers, alumni, ADMIE partners, and all who contributed to turning the EFTR vision into reality. To each of you, thank you. AT is now entering an exciting new chapter. For the first time in many years, our people, our aircraft, our tools, and our test capabilities are united under one roof, within a purpose-built, fully equipped operational facility. This hangar provides what we have long needed, a true home for our mission in close proximity with a larger test and evaluation ecosystem. Nous sommes à l'approche d'un nouvel horizon du CETA. Pour la première fois, notre personnel, nos avions, nos outils et toute notre capacité de test sont maintenant ensemble dans le même bâtiment qui est fabriqué sur mesure. Cela dit, notre nouveau hangar s'accompagne d'une grande responsabilité. Il faut qu'on réalise le plein potentiel de cet édifice en accomplissant notre mandat à la force aérienne canadienne, la marine, l'armée, les forces spéciales, la garde côtière, ainsi que les équipes de test en vol de la défense. With that comes responsibility. We must fully realize the potential of this facility and continue to deliver on our commitments to the Royal Canadian Air Force, the Navy, Army, Special Forces, the Canadian Coast Guard, and the broader defense test and evaluation community. Let me be clear, this is a defining moment. Our move into the Janusz Zurakowski building and the completion of the EFTR transition is a generational opportunity. It is a chance to renew our sense of pride, to strengthen our cohesion, and to shape the future of AT together. Building on the proud and storied legacy in air test evaluation in Canada, the opportunity before us is ours to seize. Together, we can make AT not only the center of excellence for flight test, but the most rewarding place to serve within the Canadian Armed Forces. Experto crede.
Thank you, ma'am. I would like to now invite the Minister of National Defense, the Commanding Officer of AT, and Mr. George Zurakowski for a word for the unveiling of the plaque. Thank you, everyone, and please remain seated for the departure